Hello, I'm Greisa. I'll be giving a peekaboo of Fendi's management, history, and the ideas that form this well-known family firm. Established in 1925, the company is founded by the couple Adele and Eduardo Fendi in Rome. Featured here is the first boutique the couple had, and from this boutique, the family operated a handbag shop and a fur workshop. In an interview for Glass magazine featuring Silvia Venturini Fendi, it was discussed that from this modest building, Fendi attracted its loyal clients. What set the small house apart is Adele Fendi's pioneering ideas. Not limited to Adele and Eduardo Fendi, their 5 daughters, Paula, Anna, Franca, Carla, and Alda began working for the family business in the 1940s and 50s. According to the LVMH website, the 5 Fendi daughters brought new energy and ideas into the family business. In the 50s, the 5 Fendi sisters assumed management of the family company. It was them that birthed the decision to hire Karl Lagerfeld as a design collaborator in 1962. It was around this time he designed the iconic double F logo of Fendi, which ties nicely with Fendi and how, through its hands, the fashion revolution of fur was forwarded. Karl Lagerfeld working with the Fendi family, according to Harper's Bazaar, is the longest collaboration in fashion history. In the photos with Karl Lagerfeld is Silvia Venturini Fendi. She was mentioned earlier, and now getting more into who she is. Silvia Venturini Fendi is the 3rd generation of the Fendi family. She is the daughter of Anna Fendi, one of the 5 Fendi daughters of the founding couple. Since 1994, she seconds Karl Lagerfeld in the creative direction of Fendi, and she is credited for the iconic Fendi bags, the baguette, and the Peekaboo. Continuing the timeline, in 2000, the LVMH Group and Prada bought majority shares of Fendi. Lost in this bidding war for Fendi is actually Gucci. Gucci reportedly made an offer the year before of $700 million. The New York Times says this Fendi deal is worth $850 million, and it gave LVMH and Prada 25.5% stake each. This $850 million price tag is only an estimate by analysts because the Fendi company would not confirm the actual price. At this point, this is the first time the Fendi family has a non-Fendi entity come into the mix as a part owner in the family business. Just a year later, in 2001, LVMH buys out Prada's 25.5% stake in Fendi for $265 million. With the Fendi family retaining 49% and LVMH now having majority share of 51%, from the Italian beginnings of Fendi to it now being majorly owned by a French corporation, Silvia Venturini Fendi actually says since then this has made them more Italian than ever before. She cites production doubling in Italy and branching to other areas of their home country. For Fendi's current products and services, although dating back to 1997, its baguette bag still stands in spotlight for today. The Glass magazine says over 1,000 versions of the bag actually exist, and this bag was designed by Silvia Venturini Fendi. Silvia herself was shocked with how much buzz the bag was getting and says Fendi as a company was not ready for it. She points out how during that time they were a family-run company, and the baguette being such a sought-after bag, the family company was not ready to deal with such a demand from a production standpoint. Standing with the baguette, Fendi has the Peekaboo bag, which Mr. Paderna has mentioned is his favorite bag. Also, it's a creation by Silvia Venturini Fendi. It was created in 2009, and like the baguette, it stands the test of time. LVMH actually described these 2 bags as creations that have become the symbols of Fendi. Before LVMH and Prada bought shares in Fendi, the 5 Fendi sisters, Paula, Anna, Franca, Carla, and Alda owned 20% of the company each, so they made up 100%. According to the New York Times, Fendi as a company was run by the 5 sisters. Silvia Venturini Fendi even says, "My mother and aunts all worked for the business. Whether in the atelier or meeting for huge family gatherings at the weekend, it was all Fendi. That was normal for us." When shares of the family business were in the bidding process between LVMH, Prada, Gucci, and other potential buyers, the problem with deciding who to sell the shares to was in getting all 5 sisters to agree. When LVMH and Prada acquired 51% of the company shares, Carla Fendi was the company president. At the official event where the signing of LVMH and Prada happened, Carla Fendi said, "We have succeeded in the first, second, and third generations, and history and identity are important to us. We are happy that we have found important partners to strengthen the name and the brand globally in the new millennium." Here, Bernard Arnault, president of LVMH, says we want to keep it a family affair. The New York Times also credits Carla Fendi as the mastermind of its commercial and marketing strategies. Carla has no children, but her sisters collectively have 11 children. The family's importance to Italy really stood out when a special exemption was given to them, which allowed children of the sisters to retain their maternal surname, Fendi. Some would say this was to ensure the company's future, which is also what the family says the sale of the controlling stake to LVMH does. From this partnership establishment, Carla became honorary president until her death in 2017. It is sure Carla Fendi served as honorary president until her death. However, it's not very clear how long she was company president. Like the New York Times says, in 2002, Giancarlo De Riccio became the president of Fendi. He is then followed by Michael Burke to become the president in October of 2003. Michael Burke stayed president until 2012. Here we can see that Carla Fendi was succeeded as president a year after LVMH acquired majority of the Fendi shares. However, other sources such as the Washington Post and Los Angeles Times says Carla Fendi remained president until 2008. So we can see how it's not consistent with what the New York Times is saying. Again, what is sure is that Carla Fendi served as honorary president until her death. According to the New York Times, Carla Fendi's passing made Silvia Venturini Fendi the only family member left actively involved in the company. Here we can see Karl Lagerfeld and Silvia Fendi ending a fashion show together. Silvia Venturini Fendi, as earlier mentioned, seconds Karl Lagerfeld in Fendi's creative direction. She was the head of menswear, accessories, and children. With Karl Lagerfeld's passing in 2019, Silvia Venturini Fendi became his successor as the Fendi creative director. The unique challenges of the family business is not only of getting all 5 Fendi sisters to find a partner that they could all agree on. There was this challenge of forging on after Karl Lagerfeld, such an influential figure to the Fendi house and the fashion industry. Karl Lagerfeld was often referred to as the 6th Fendi child. As the longest collaboration in fashion history, this reference to Karl Lagerfeld and the Fendi family seems to be really fitting. Silvia Fendi said 2020 brought its challenge to the brand, but what was even harder was dealing with these when the family is still in the process of grieving for Karl Lagerfeld. Another challenge the business had to face is the anti-fur movement. Going back to its beginning, from its first boutique, Fendi has forwarded the fashion revolution of fur. With how much fur is tied to Fendi, with its iconic double F logo even standing for fun furs, there was another level of difficulty the brand had to face with the fur industry. LVMH didn't reply to requests for comment in a Vogue business article about the fur industry fighting back. However, LVMH has recognized Furmark, a certification developed by the International Fur Federation on environmental impact, animal welfare, and traceability as a credible certification which the group subscribes to. With all of this, it pops the question, what does the future hold for the family firm? Well, from the time LVMH bought out Prada's shares in Fendi, making LVMH the majority shareholder, as of 2020, Business Insider says over the years, LVMH has acquired 84% ownership of Fendi, while the remaining percent still belongs to the sisters. As the only Fendi family member left that's actively involved in the Fendi company, Silvia Venturini Fendi points to the importance of honing her craft and maintaining a family brand. She didn't mention how the next generation of Fendi would be made sure to join. However, she highlights the appointment of Kim Jones as creative director of women's wear. Silvia Venturini Fendi says designing with someone shows how she is not a solo person, and that this gene of collaborating is thanks to her Fendi family upbringing, where there was a shared devotion to the brand and each other. With this and its current president Serge Brunswig, who used to head Christian Dior's menswear and has been with LVMH since 1995, the future of Fendi as a company seems to be secure. Approaching its 100th year in 2025, Silvia Venturini Fendi says she'll always pursue the interesting and the new while honoring the past.